Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, EXP family and friends. Happy Friday. I'm watching live in our EXP World Metaverse Auditorium to make sure we've got the tech streaming and beaming in. I'm actually up here on stage. I'm going to jump up and say hello, everybody. Happy Friday. So excited to be with you all. If you're joining us live in EXP World, great to see you. What's going on, Stacy? She's got video and audio, so we are good. Ben looks forward to Fire Friday every week, everybody. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So if you're joining us on the YouTube stream, welcome. I will challenge you a couple of times throughout this session to make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. There is so much opportunity right now in the real estate industry. It's a great time to level up your life, level up your business. And every Friday, we are glad to bring you Fire Friday to help you do just that. So if you're a regular at this session, you know what we're about to do. We're going to pull some mindset prompts up on the screen. Good morning, Tara. So great to see you live in EXP World. You get just about 60 seconds to get your wheels turning. Get your head going in the right direction because we have an amazing session in store for you for the next 25 minutes and an amazing agent leadership meeting right on the tail end of that. So the first thing I want you to think about and be honest with yourself. Let me know in the YouTube comments or right here in the EXP World chat box. Be honest. There is something going on in your life or business right now that you didn't want to happen. True or true, right? It's just life. But I want you to acknowledge it first. I want you to fill in this blank. I didn't want blank to happen. I want you to just get present to something that's going on. I didn't want that deal to fall through. I didn't want to get that phone call. I didn't want to miss that thing. I didn't want it to rain last night. I didn't want what to happen. So you're first going to get just present and bring awareness to your wants, something that you didn't want. Because life doesn't unfold perfectly for us in every moment. It comes at us and all around us, even though it's happening for us. And that's going to be the second part of the prompt. I didn't want the seller to stop returning my calls, right, Dorothy? Right on. Now, what I want you to realize in this opportunity, this moment, there's always a chance to shift your perspective and reframe that situation from what you thought you wanted to what you actually need. So take that thing and realize that that's an opportunity for you to shift your focus. So because that thing that I didn't want happened or showed up, I now need to shift my focus to what? What do you need to shift your focus to? Maybe that rain is just what your garden needed to grow right now. Maybe that seller not returning your call opened you up to go lock up the next 5 sellers with a better plan, a better value add, right? Whatever it is. I need to shift my focus to what? You can do this anytime, in any situation. It's this simple. Remember these prompts, everybody grab them. I want to welcome you to Lightwork. We call this your weekly energy practice. We do this every single Friday as part of your Fire Friday. We're on a mission to help you level up your life and your business. Today, we're joined by an amazing special guest. We're going to get a little story, a little strategy, a message of support. And this is a live production, everybody. I'm standing live in EXP World right in front of you. And I'm over here on the video screen with our amazing guest. So please use the chat box in the EXP World. What's going on, Shariah? Please use the YouTube comments. We can see it. We can feel it. And in just about 25 minutes, if you're arriving here for the agent leadership meeting, that's what we will get into. But first, we're going to have a candid conversation with one of my favorite people on the planet, an EXP growth leader, an amazing father, entrepreneur, real estate veteran, pro. Let's bring on my man, Tom Troung. What's going on, Tom?
What's going on, KD? Kirtus Dixon. I love it. Thanks for having me. I love your energy. This is Fire Friday for sure.
Tom, let's do it. So we've got a short 25 minutes with this audience. The first thing I want you to help them do is just get to know you, get connected to the Tom Troung that I know and love. Give this audience a little dose of your best life right now.
Man, so before we do that, I want to respond to your opener there, right? What I didn't want. It took me a while to think about it, Kirtus, but I didn't want this agent to give up on himself. I didn't want this agent to give up on himself, man. And what I need to do to shift my focus is to have more meaningful conversations with the folks in our organization. I've got to pick up the phone more, man. I've just got to get to the heart of what makes them tick. And I think as leaders, as parents, as friends, as associates, we got to have these more honest, meaningful conversations. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing.
So I think your question again, a best version of...
Yeah, just let people get to know you. Give it what's going on in your best life right now. My assumption is that you're living your best life every day.
My best life.
We're on this planet.
Yeah.
Let them get to know you.
So my best life, I believe it or not, I do daily affirmations. It's in my head, right? And my daily affirmation today is I'm physically fit. I'm emotionally full. I'm mentally strong. I'm financially free. My time is my own. I am scheduled as I want to be. My priorities are in check. I love my family. I love my friends. I'm blessed to have a real estate platform that syncs up with my career goals. And I'm surrounded myself with people who inspire and challenge me to make my world and our world a better place. I build others up. Kirtus, that's the best version of my life today.
Oh my goodness, Tom. So I got the chills, and I was actually trying to keep up. I love your affirmations. Thank you for sharing those. And I'm going to remind everybody here, if you're a note taker like I am, we are streaming live on the eXp Realty YouTube channel, Tom. So when we finish today's live stream, there will be a video recording of everything that happened today in the Metaverse Auditorium. You can go back and watch Tom's affirmations that he just spit. You can borrow them, rip them off, make them your own, change them. But imagine starting your day like that, everybody. There's no doubt you're going to come in with confidence, positivity, love. There's no doubt you're going to save that agent, Tom. You're not going to give up on him. You're going to make that impact. So thank you for letting us get to know just kind of how you kick off and how you start. Now, there's people sitting out in the audience, and they also did the mindset prompts this morning, and they said, I wish I didn't lose that seller. I wish I didn't, have that conversation with that buyer. I wish I didn't stop doing what I had been doing. Everybody wants to get more clear, Tom, and move forward. I think that's just human desire. Can you take us to a couple of moments in your life, in your business, any point in time where you had some opportunity, some struggle, or some challenge, you had to get clear, and what happens when we find that clarity?
I love it. Early on in my career, Kirtus, this is my second career. My first career was in the insurance business, but even early on, my life goal was always to have personal and financial freedom. That was on my agenda, on my book, on my to-do every week, every month, every year. That was basically the one statement that I moved from year to year to year. I want to be personally and financially free. And for 30 plus years of my working career, my goal was to achieve that. Well, at some point in time, I think I achieved it because, the financial stress went away after filing bankruptcy, after doing all this stuff. I made it back, and I made enough, and then more enough to be financially free. And then I think I found some personal freedom. But, and the crystal clear part was, Kirtus, was to basically focus. For me, at one point in time in my career, I did a lot of things, man. I owned a bagel shop, dry cleaner, laundromat, and country clubs, liquor license, all this stuff to make a living, to create that financial freedom. And one day, one of my mentors says, Tom, you got to focus. And that's when I basically decided to let everything else go and just focus on the thing that I knew I loved the most and enjoyed the most, which didn't feel like a job, which is to focus on real estate. Did that, crystal clear on that, and then I got there. But then guess what? When I got there, it wasn't enough. I'm like, wait a minute. I told myself if I got here, I'd stop working. Well, I didn't stop working. Well, what the heck, right? And then EXP came along 4.5 years ago. My sponsor, Tracy Gagnon and Scott Lewis, asked me the question, Tom, you're doing well, but is it enough? And I said, no, it doesn't feel like it's enough. And what they introduced to me was our platform, which allowed me 2 more things, Kirtus, that is fulfilling now in my life. Number one is the financial freedom and personal freedom was good, but I was still stuck. I was stuck in one place. The location freedom. This platform allowed me to have the location freedom, to be wherever I want to be with friends, with family, clear across the world, across the country, and still have my business up and running. That's true freedom. And the last thing, which for those who don't know my story, the last thing is to be able to fulfill a mission, fulfill a goal, fulfill a promise that my mom asked of me, is to help others become successful. I didn't have a way to do that before this Realty platform, the EXP Realty platform, Kirtus. So that's what changed, right? I thought I had it all set. I was crystal clear on it. And then boom, I worked harder than ever to change lives now, man. And I'm fired up about it. I'm more excited now than ever to be able to put in the time, put in the work. And for me, it's not work anymore. For me, it's pure enjoyment. Yes, there are stress. stress of people quitting, stress of people not doing well, stress of people giving up on themselves. And that's really the only stress I have in my life is how do I become a better motivator, a better leader, a better teacher, a better mentor, a better accountability partner to help these people get to where they want to go.
Oh my gosh, Tom, you've got tears in my eyes, man. And I just want to first say thank you for just being transparent and taking us on that journey. And, I think you briefly mentioned things that for anybody going through them, Tom, are the largest, most critical, maybe painful, challenging, or exciting things going on, right? Imagine someone out in the audience right now being in the middle of the bankruptcy decision, Tom, for their business or their life. Imagine someone out there being in the middle of feeling overwhelmed by all of the balls they're juggling, whether it's, 100 clients and they haven't hired their first assistant yet, or it's trying to get their first commission check and stretching their savings, wherever they are. You've been through 30, 40 years of those moments.
I've been through hell, baby.
I want to thank you for reminding Sean and Julie and Sam and everybody out there that's just like going through it. There's another side. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You might feel upside down. There's all these joys and these feelings waiting for you. And you'll look back on these moments just like Tom can reflect on them so easily as just the learning opportunities to get more clear, the message you needed to shore up your focus, Tom. Thank you for sharing that. And I've got a couple things I'm going to restate. And then what I'm going to ask you about next, you gave me some of my favorite keywords. And I think it's what both you and I really live for. It's how we're wired. And so many of our leaders across the CXP ecosystem are the same way. We're on a mission to help others become the best version of themselves, right? And yes. So you said a key word, which is, how do I become better? It was a key phrase. So what I want to do in just a couple minutes, I'll give you a moment to kind of think through it. I want to give these folks maybe your top 3 pieces of advice on how they can become better themselves, right? You said you worked on your skills and you changed your focus and you thought harder. You probably had strategy and all this stuff from your past lives. So I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes time to think through how they become better. And then I'm going to recap and welcome everybody. So if you're just joining us live on YouTube or in our EXP World Metaverse Auditorium, welcome to EXP Realty's Level Up live stream. We call this Fire Friday. If you're here with us on Friday, our mission is to set you on fire for the weekend. Going into next week, we want to inspire, motivate you, and give you some actionable information that puts you in a position to have a great weekend, have maximum success. This Level Up live stream, we do 3 days a week. So most important, someone on my team, if you would, please, everybody, drop a link to the YouTube channel in EXP World, because I need all 60 or so folks that are here early, Tom, in the metaverse. I need you to go subscribe to the YouTube channel, everyone, please, because you're going to get these live streams. You might be driving to a listing appointment next Wednesday. All of a sudden you get a notification that the top producer in our brokerage is going live, telling you what he's leveraging right now to crush it in real estate. You don't want to miss that. You don't want your team to miss that. You don't want your friends to miss that. Get on the YouTube channel. If you're here with us on YouTube, make sure you turn on notifications and stay active in the comments, because we want to help you, Sakta, any way we can. We want to invite you into our Metaverse Auditorium. We want to get you connected to any and everything that will help you level up your life and your business. That's our mission. So thank you, Tom. And I'm hanging out live in EXP World too, Tom. These productions, we're on a mission to just kind of become better. When I talk about we, I mean EXP Realty, I mean our EXP University team, our marketing team, our growth team. We're here to bring experiences that no one else in the industry is bringing to our agent audience and to anyone regardless of brokerage. That's why we're live on YouTube and we're live in our Metaverse Auditorium. So what I encourage everybody, what's going on, Glenn? Good morning. Glenn's watching on YouTube. What I encourage everybody to do is recognize that our focus as EXP Realty is to give you the things that will make you better. We're here to help you become more. So we're going to use the auditorium. We're going to use YouTube. We're going to bring on guest after guest and agent after agent, leader after leader. And sometimes those productions, Tom, they get a little wild. They get a little, we're trying new stuff. So sometimes you make a couple of mistakes, you break a couple of eggs. Everybody roll with us, especially today, because we have a amazing leadership meeting starting here in just about 15 minutes. So I see you nodding, Tom. I know you're ready. Let's teach this audience a little strategy. They want to become a better agent, a better entrepreneur, a better father. They want that financial freedom, better mother. They want the time freedom, whatever it is. How do they become more? What are the top 3 things in your eyes?
Great question. So I would say, to become a better version of yourself, first be honest with yourself. Do a true, honest assessment of yourself. be your toughest critic. Boy, if you can't be your toughest critic, how can you take others to criticize you, right? So be your toughest critic. And then hold yourself accountable to your own goals. Remember, these are your dreams. These are your passions. These are your love. These are the commitments, the promises that you made to no other than to yourself. And so hold yourself accountable. And boy, if you don't know how to hold yourself accountable, then seek out somebody, an accountability coach, a mentor, your best friend, a spouse, even your kids if you need to, whoever it is, and give them permission, Kirtus. Give them permission to be tough on you. A lot of people won't allow that. They just can't open themselves up to be vulnerable, to be criticized, constructive criticism, right? To become that better person version of themselves. So that's what I would say. Start with yourself, because how many times do people people make promises to say, yes, I'm going to do something, and then boom, we know it. It doesn't happen. It doesn't follow through because you weren't really honest with yourself. You didn't really take time to evaluate. Did you really mean to say yes? Did you really mean that you want to do this or that or the other? And if you do that, what are you going to give up? I say that all the time when I'm coaching our team, right? Before you say yes to something, figure out what are you going to say no to. We all only have 24 hours in the day. So before you say yes to something, think about all the other yeses that you said yes to that you haven't even followed through and finished yet. So how in the world can you possibly say yes to yet one more thing when you haven't finished everything else that you promised yourself that you're going to do? So say no to something before you say yes to something. And I do that all the time. Opportunities come across my desk all the time. And I before I even take the time to evaluate that opportunity, I'm thinking to myself, boy, that would take time away from my family, my associates, my selling of houses, my building team. So if I took my time away to do this, what does that mean I'm going to give up?
Whew, my goodness. All right. So we've got a heavy dose of fire, everybody. And Tom, I was taking notes because I love
it's supposed to be light work. Marissa, my wife said, Tom, it's supposed to keep it light. I can't keep it light, man. I'm a serious guy, man. I'm passionate.
I know you are. I absolutely love it. And that's what people are here for, Tom. And that's why we do this show, because our mission is to bring your unique energy to the audience that needs it. There's more than one person sitting out there right now that needs this message, right? And there's people blowing up our YouTube feed. Want to shout out our guy, Jeff Ruby, Shariah, Candace, good morning. Julie's here from Ohio. What's going on? Gladys, always plugged in. Amy E, love it. Sean's here. So people are here because they need this, right? And you've got Megan in the chat and Stacy.
We've got a lot of rock stars in the chat. I recognize their names.
Listening into this stuff because this is the energy they need right now. So you gave us a 1, 2, 3, and I love that because in every moment, everybody, when you've got there's teachers all around you, right? It might be your favorite book, it might be your spouse, it's probably your children if you're paying attention. It's definitely coaches and mentors like Tom and Glenn and leaders across the ecosystem. It's the agent you're mentoring. There's lessons everywhere. There are teachers everywhere. But sometimes I think we get so focused on consuming lots of information that what we don't grab. I want to shout out Kevin Kaufman, another one of our great leaders and agents. He was talking on social. Sometimes we're following so much, we don't take in what's for us. We take in everything everyone's giving. And it's kind of like what you said, Tom, opportunities are all around us, but we're not saying no to some of the information that's not relevant to us.
Right.
So we can say yes to what is. So I love the simple, powerful, huge concepts you gave us here. Number one, be honest.
Yeah.
Be really honest about yourself, and you had me thinking, Tom, good morning, Allie. You had me thinking like, true assessment. Where am I at a deficit? What am I not doing from a performance perspective? And I think everybody can stop and reflect on that. And then sometimes there's some truth to what are you telling yourself that's not true? What's that narrative that's restricting you, that's limiting you, right? You're telling yourself, oh, I don't sell $1 million homes. I'm comfortable in the 200K range. That's just the trick. That's not you being honest. You're equipped to sell a $200,000 house. You're equipped to sell a $2 million house, right? Like that's just you that needs to be honest and let go of a narrative. Then the next one, I love this one. This is actually something I'm really studying right now, accountability. So you said, hold yourself accountable. And then I think you gave someone a gift, which is if you are struggling to hold yourself accountable, if you're not consistent, not equipped, or it's just something you're not experienced with yet, go find someone who will. And then the clearest instruction was, and give them permission.
Give them permission. Exactly. And ask them to hold you accountable. That's the missing piece, I think, when people have an accountability partner. You didn't give them permission to beat you up. You didn't give them even when even when you can't handle it, you gotta man up. You gotta just take it, right? Otherwise, how the heck do you grow? If we're always trying to shield you, if your best friend or your family is always trying to shield you, how in the world are you going to grow if you can't hold yourself accountable and be your toughest critic?
You're not. And it inspired me. So I'm gonna give everyone some permission here right now. Phil Hahn, I see you out in the chat box. I want to give you permission to hold me accountable. If there's something you're expecting from me and my place in this family, in this ecosystem, and I'm not delivering, hold me accountable. Send me a message. Tom, I want to invite you the same thing. I see Glenn on the live stream. Glenn, hold me accountable, please. I want to give permission. I don't think I've ever asked or said, I give you permission, right? I have coaches galore and they hold me accountable. But part of that gift is me being asked to be held accountable. I love that, Tom. And then the last one, before you say yes, identify what you're saying no to. I mean, you brought up something that's too real, Tom. We all have a lot going on. We're all doing a lot of things. We're all saying yes to the next thing, the next call, the next client. But did you send that follow-up? The next meeting, the next team, but did you complete that first objective? The next business, the next financial opportunity, but have you secured and received payment for the previous one? I mean, that's a reflection right there, Tom. That's a challenge. So
that sure
find what you need to say no to before you
say yes. That's right. Well, also, hey, if you're on this channel, probably you're in the sales profession. You're probably an entrepreneur. You're an independent contractor, and that's built in us. To say yes, we are yes people. And that's really hard to figure out, right? Is to say the no's. So
100%. 100%. So we got people going off in our EXP World Metaverse Auditorium. I love you all. Love this activity in the chat box, Tom. So awesome. We've got people watching on the YouTube live stream. I'm going to get us oriented here for the next 30, 45 minutes in about 2 minutes. Then we're going to give you a chance, Tom, to give this audience one final message. One of my favorite things that happens to me is a song, because I love music. It'll creep up in my head or heart, right? Something that means something to me, and it'll roll around in there for a few hours or a few days. It'll take me back to a memory of my childhood. It'll take me to a moment where I first met my wife. It'll take me to what was playing that first closing I was driving to, right, early in my real estate career. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, and I challenge you to come up with a question we can leave this audience thinking through as we transition to the agent leadership meeting here in just about 5 minutes. So if you're just joining us, everybody, welcome. Happy Fire Friday. You are in the right place if you're in our EXP World Metaverse Auditorium or you're here on YouTube for what we call our Friday Agent Leadership Meeting. So EXP Realty is on a mission to help you level up your life or business anywhere you are, regardless of real estate brokerage. And every Friday, you're going to get top agents, thought leaders, access to the company's executive leadership, and you're just going to get to have a conversation, listen in, be inspired, get actionable ideas, information, and strategies from those top producers and those thought leaders, everybody. So we will be kicking off that meeting here in just about 6 or 7 minutes. Thank you for catching the tail end of what we call Lightwork. This is your weekly energy practice. My name's Kirtus Dixon. I'm joined by an amazing rock star, Tom Troung, and he is bringing the goods all day long, Tom. I want to thank you for that. And we've got so many people saying thanks. So as we get ready to transition, take us to that one question or that place where we should remain for the next little bit.
So ask yourself this question. That's a great question. Ask yourself this question, folks. Have you taken the time? Have you taken the time to design the best version of your life? That's sort of the theme that Kirtus is asking of me to speak about today. Have you written down that best version? Because here's what I know will happen. Version 3 will be totally different from version 1. Write it down, review it tonight before your head hits the pillow. Tomorrow morning, when you're fresh, read it again. It will change. And you have the ability to decide what that best version of your life is. Okay? Mark Twain said this: there's 2 important days in your life, the day that you were born and the day you figure out your why. I have a third day. That third day is the day you die. And what happens in between is that dash. For those who've heard me talk about the dash, okay? So what is your dash? That's the one thing that all of us have in common. We're born on a different day. We die on a different day, a different time. But right between, baby, is your dash. So what will your dash say? What happens between now and the rest of your life? How will you write your dash, write your story? My challenge for everyone is to take that time today before your head hits the pillow and write your dash. That's it, man.
Tom, thank you for taking this time. Thank you for being part of everyone's dash today. A little moment in time that I know will last a long time for so many people. I'm turning my head a little bit to just kind of get the bearings, get oriented. We always do more than we did the previous week. We're always evolving and trying to push the envelope here. So thank you for bringing this to us this amazing Friday. Everybody, if you want to connect with Tom, he's all over. He's online. He's on social. If you're an EXP agent, find him on Workplace here. But go follow him on Instagram. Find Tom online. Get connected. He shares his stories. He shares his passion. Tom, I love you. I love your family.
You, bro.
Just want to thank you for what you do and what you bring all the time, everybody. Want to thank you for joining Lightwork. Let me explain what's going to happen here over the next couple of minutes. What we're going to do, number one, is if you're in our EXP World Metaverse Auditorium, we're going to throw up a survey. We always want feedback. We want to bring comments to the guests. We want to know what we can do to improve. So please complete our survey in World. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to throw up a countdown timer because there's more fire on the heels of this kickoff, and we call it our Friday Agent Leadership Meeting. So when that timer goes up, you'll have about 90 seconds to literally text the YouTube link out to everybody in your group. If you're an EXP agent, go invite a friend, go share it with someone that needs to be at these. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Then at that 90-second mark, we're going to come back on and we're going to be live in the auditorium, Tom, and we are going to have leaders and agents and people coming up on this production. So you're not going to want to miss the Agent Leadership Meeting, everybody. Tom, thank you again for being here. Appreciate you, everybody. You get just a couple of minutes while we set everything up, and we'll see you again for the Agent Leadership Meeting at the top of the hour. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, EXP family and friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to our EXP Realty Agent Leadership Meeting. My name is Kirtus Dixon. So excited to be with you all. If you're hanging around after watching Lightwork, thanks for being here. If you're just joining us or tuning in, jumping into the EXP World Metaverse Auditorium, thank you for jumping into our Friday Agent Leadership Meeting. This is going to become the favorite part of your week, absolutely make sure you attend regularly. We have an amazing agenda today. This agent leadership meeting is your opportunity, your friend's opportunity, agents at other brokerages opportunity to just get a feel for what happens inside this eXp Realty ecosystem. And that is that leaders and top producers and every agent in the family does everything they can to add value to your life and your business. Today is no different. I believe we are going to be joined by the one and only president of North America for eXp Realty, Dave Conord, and our vice president of growth, Sean Murphy, today as hosts. Let's do a quick tech check and make sure they are here and or in the background. Let's bring them on.
Kirtus Dixon.
Kirtus, good to see you.
Dave and Sean, great to see you. Have fun. I'll turn it over to you. I'm here in the background if you need me for anything. Thank you for hosting the agent leadership meeting. We'll let you kick it off.
Awesome. We
Dave,
appreciate
this is
you,
an
brother.
exciting
Great job
day.
this morning. This is an exciting day. It's a historic day. Boom. All right, let's go ahead and kick this puppy off. Sean, glad you're here with me for this. We have some exciting things to go through today together. We appreciate all of you being here. And we are going to take you through all kinds of fun stuff today. So buckle up, get out your pens and pencils and your paper or your digital notepads and get ready to take some notes. And we can't wait to share with you. Sean,
turn
EXP
your Audible up to 2.0 because we're going to cut through the housekeeping stuff pretty quick.
Boom. All right. EXPCon. Guys, registration is open and tickets are selling super fast. I'm so excited. We're selling more tickets than we've ever sold before for this event. This is an incredible opportunity. Not only is it a great time to get down to Vegas, but man, there's so much good content there. Incredible breakouts, all kinds of great sessions, a lot of fun stuff. You're going to learn a ton. You're going to make great connections. And you have an opportunity for referrals all over the world. So you want to get there. It's October 11th and 14th. But you got to get yourself registered. You got to get yourself all set. So go there. Sean, go ahead on this one.
You've only got one more week. Speaking of booking things for EXPCon, this is your last leadership reminder to book your hotel. Take advantage of the discount rates. September 9th deals end. So why wait, pay full price? Why wait to walk a half mile to get to Mandalay Bay when you can stay right there in the hotel or the Four Seasons or in Mandalay Bay or the Luxor? Book right now. You want to be inside this event. So Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and get your tickets. And the awards gala, guys, the awards gala is going to be the best it's ever been this year. We have so many great agent awards that we're going to be giving away. We are focused 100% on agent recognition and recognizing all of our rock stars in a lot of different categories, both residential, commercial, global. So you want to be there. 16 agent awards. Those are just the award categories. There are multiples inside of that. And it's in the arena. Guys, it's a real deal. It's going to be super exciting. So you can get a whole table at a discounted rate, or you could get your tickets. So you go right to expcon.exprealty.com and get your gala tickets as well. Don't forget, it's going to be super fun.
Well, you may be wondering who this is. This is Rhonda Telvik from Baraboo, Wisconsin. She's the raffle winner. She gets tickets to EXPCon 2022. As you know, we held a raffle for those who attended the agent leadership meetings over the last month and completed the survey. Be sure to complete the survey at the end of this agent leadership meeting. Congratulations, Rhonda, and thanks to all of those who participate.
Nice. Congrats, Rhonda. That's awesome. That's a nice cost savings right there for her. Very cool. Oh, man, I'm excited about this one, Sean.
Yeah, this is it. I got it right here behind me.
So Sean and I have just a small amount of enthusiasm for growth, right? How many lives can we change and people can we help bring into the company? The sprint event is designed to help us all grow together, and it's exactly as it's called. It's a sprint, right? This is how fast can you go. We are opening for this for the first time for a true full Canadian version as well. Our Canadian family up there is part of the sprint as well. So it is for the month of September. It started yesterday. It's the first 30 agents in each of the U.S. regions, East, Central, and West, to add 3 agents to their front line, to sponsor 3 agents into EXP. The first 30 in each region. Okay. Regardless, you got to get to 3.
We got Canada too. How many in Canada, Dave?
In Canada, it's the first 45 agents in the country, the first 45 agents. So the Canadian agents have a special event, and that is going to be in Toronto at an incredible hotel in Toronto. It's going to be an outstanding event. You want to be there. In the U.S., it's going to be in Colorado, an incredible spot out there. We're bringing everyone in the U.S. together in one spot. And why do you want to go, right? What's important about being there? You will be in a room in the U.S. with 90 people, in Canada with 45, surrounded by all of our alphas, all of our top influencers who are business leaders and great business minds and encouragers, and people from the executive team who will be leaning into you in a small environment, sharing best practices, answering your questions, so supporting you and building relationships, and you'll be around your peers who are going after it. You want to be in that room.
You know, we have something more exciting than anything today. So we are going to start announcing on our monthly leadership meeting, not the first one of the month, as we discovered. Dave, you want to give a preface to the numbers here and what we're going to be announcing?
Yes, guys, it is so important for us to recognize the hard work of our agents and the rock stars that we have in this company, the incredible agents that we have. We have some of the best agents in the industry. And now we are going to be able to really, really brag about our agents, their production, what they're doing, to recognize them, give them the opportunity. We're going to be recognizing on so many levels. Every month, we'll be recognizing here in the leadership meeting our top agents in a couple of different categories. But we're also going to make available to you how everyone is performing to provide recognition for state and local as well. I want to preface these numbers just for this month only. We cut this off at the 1st of September for the month of August. And so these numbers include only transactions, only sales that closed during the month of August, where it went to the settlement table, that the paperwork was submitted to EXP, and that it was all processed in our system. Okay, so you may have had some that went to the settlement table, but the paperwork wasn't processed fully yet. Those will be recognized during the month of September, but from here forward, every month will include everything. So we're continue to level that up. But John, let's get right to our winners.
Well, we have an undisputed leader for individual agents. It shows 72 here for John Scalia in Pennsylvania, but you know what? He's well over 650 on the year. So John, congratulations for winning the individual agent units for the month of August. And the next slide. Congratulations, John. The byproduct of selling that many units is you are also the volume champion for top performing agents for volume.
Awesome. Great job, John. And congrats to everyone on that list. We're going to shout out our top winners, but guys, don't miss the other numbers. There's some really eye-popping numbers on all of these lists.
These will all be posted. They'll be posted prominently everywhere. We'll put them on the workplace groups.
Yes, absolutely. Also, for domestic teams, for units, Jesse and Sheila Williams with 12. Guys, fantastic job in the month of August. And on the next slide for volume, the Viva Group, William Vaccarano. Almost $5 million closed last month for domestic teams. Number one. Congrats to you and everyone on this list.
All right, now we're gonna hit the organized teams, the self-organized teams, the Saperstein Group, and you will be hearing from Paul a little bit later on this stage. Congratulations on 40 units, Paul Saperstein and the Saperstein Group. And then we'd also like to congratulate the Lynch Legacy Realty Group. Stacy Lynch, you knocked it out of the park. 28 million closed in August.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Incredible numbers, guys. Great job. For standard teams and units, Monica Foster and the Monica Foster team with 54 closed units last month. Amazing. Congrats to you and congrats to everyone on this list.
That's a pretty good year last month.
Yeah, exactly. And Daniel Zia and the Zia Group with $22.6 million closed out. So many agents are striving to hit that for their year, like as you mentioned. And
Daniel is taking over Santa Barbara, everybody. That is one great group.
We have some other teams close to the hunt on them too. So
all right, mega icon teams. This is where it gets crazy in the numbers. Austin Chevron in the Chevron Group, 81 units closed last month. And Dave, you want to announce the big winner here?
54, almost $54.2 million closed last month. Kenny Troung and Team Fast. Kenny Fast, you guys, all these groups, and look at these numbers on here for all of these teams right here. Really, really amazing stuff. So Kenny, congratulations to you and your team. Really, really well done. And we'll be hearing from Kenny as well.
And
today.
Dave's going to go into this. You're going to be seeing some of these agents on the stage after this presentation. So stick around.
Yeah, you're going to hear directly from the people that are succeeding at the highest level, sharing how they're doing it. We also have, speaking of top producing agents, some incredible agents that have joined us, and we're getting some recognition out there. It's pretty amazing. So Iggy Johnson couldn't see.
EJ
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, EJ Johnson.
She is one of the top African American female franchise owners in the United States, and she decided to move her life and her business to EXP at the top while she's at the top. So.
Yeah, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name.
Okay.
Wow, how could I do that? You're amazing. You're amazing. So, all right, Russ, we're going to turn it over to Russ and let him talk a little bit about what's happening out in the marketplace. Where's our buddy?
All right. Hey there. Thanks a bunch. I really appreciate that. Happy Friday morning to all of you guys. My name is Russell Laggan. I'm the Regional Director of Growth US West and Central. And today we're going to be talking more about real estate market updates. Last, 2 weeks ago already, seems like only yesterday, 2 weeks ago, I started this conversation about, hey guys, you want to do a real estate market update. You want to do it on a regular basis. If you want business to come to you, you got to look like an expert. If you want to get paid like an expert, you got to start talking like an expert. So I think you guys already get that part. So now the next part of the question is, Russ, hey, like what is the most important things to be talking about? Because we have a lot of people like, hey, do this. And then the next question should be like, how? Right? Ask the question, right? How do I do this? Okay. So we're going to get into some of the details of the how to do a real estate market update. And for most of you guys, the cool part is you can use this exact same tool for sending out to your sphere of influence, your buyers and sellers, anybody you know. And for those of you guys that want to do attraction, send this to all the other realtors you know too on every transaction you've done. Because then they're getting good information. They're going to start seeing you as an expert. And when something goes wrong in their world, guess who they're going to call first? The one that's been hooking them up, right? So this is a great tool to use for not only helping attract business to you, but also attract people to you, which I love, right? So one tool fits all. It's kind of like the Ginsu knife of real estate. So with that being said, there's a couple of things that you want to make sure you're tracking on a monthly basis and you're talking about on a monthly basis. So let me walk you through the couple categories and make sure you understand why and make sure you know what this info is. And then you can utilize these for part of that conversation, right? So one of the first things we want to do is we want to make sure we're talking about the total number of listings. So you guys will have heard already that a lot of markets are saying, oh my gosh, the total number of listings has gone up. And here's the thing, guys, in almost all of the markets, a bunch of the ones I know specific numbers on, listing level number going up is a good thing, right? They're like, listing levels went up 50%. Thank God, right? Because in a lot of these markets, it's been so unbelievably ridiculously low that we need that to go up to be able to actually get more sales. And once people get past this little fear bug they got going on and we settle into the new norm, more listings on the market is going to mean all of those buyers that are sitting out going, I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to start jumping off the fence. So if you start telling this story, hey, yes, we've got more inventory and it's still way too low. Let me give you a perfect example. Detroit, Michigan numbers. We're at a 1.5 month supply of homes. We do not have anywhere near enough listings to be able to satisfy the buyer load still really low. So if we got more listings in the market, in this market, if we got 3 times as many listings, we'd still be a seller's market. So is the inventory going up a good thing? Heck yeah, in our market, I want it to go up. Please, God, go up. It's like being in a drought, like I said 2 weeks ago. It's like being in a drought and it starts to rain. We should be celebrating, right? Now, if it rains for 40 days and 40 nights, we got a problem. So we got to watch this and track this. So do you want to talk about how many listings there are in your market? Yes. And talk about how many there were last year, and then maybe even go back 5-6 years. And what you'll see is this trend will start to make sense, and you start telling a story about what's going on. Now, if the listing level continues to climb, we're going to talk about that more next month, okay? That's how you start positioning that. Total number of closed sales. You want to make sure you're telling them what the total number of closed sales is. So what you have is number of listings got, then the amount of sales you've had in the last 30 days. And then what happens is that starts to tell you a ratio, which turns into the supply of homes. See, if inventory goes up and then sales go up, supply of homes stays down, right? So you got to know what the metrics are, and you got to know what these moving parts are and start telling the story, okay? So how many closed sales do we have in the last month? And what did that look like last year? What did that look like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago? What happens is you don't just tell them a number, you tell them a number, and then you give them some context to understand what that number means. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So that's how you start to make sense. And guess what? When you start to make sense, people start to want to do business with you. Weird like that, right? Okay. The next thing you want to make sure you're looking at too is median sales price. What is a median sales price? So in this particular market, the median sales price now is $270K versus 170 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right? So when you're looking at these numbers, I'm sorry, 230 in our market here. So when you're looking at these numbers, what is the median sales price this year versus last year? May even want to go back 5 years. Here's the thing. You go back 5 years and say, hey guys, by the way, if you bought a house in the last 5 years, good news is you made money, right? You made money. Do people want to feel good about the decision they made? Do they want to work with the person that helped them make a good decision again? Yes. So start telling that story. By the way, if the market's going down, you want to tell that story also, so they know what they should be doing, right? So if you're thinking about selling and the market's going down, you better sell now. Is that a great way to get a seller off the fence? I don't know. Well, you lost 10 grand in the last 6 months. Do you want to lose another 10? No? Maybe you should sell now. Huh. You think that would work? People start, you're making connection for them, right? So it's super important to make those connections. The last part of this conversation, by the way, you want to use median, not average, because median means half the sales are above, half the sales are below. So if you get some weird sale at 4.5 million in your market, it throws the average off. Median gives you a nice, good, balanced number to work with. The last thing, of course, is the supply of homes. In most of our markets, many of our markets, we're at a 0.7 month supply of homes. In Detroit now, we're at 1.5. By the way, normal at like 5, 6 to 7 is a good, normal, balanced market. So what you want to start doing is we're at a 1.5 month supply of homes, and that's still not enough supply for the amount of demand we have. So we want the supply to go up, and we want this number to go back up a little bit because stability is good. Okay, so there's a couple of things you can work on. Next time, we're going to talk about days on market, because that's super misleading in this market, days on market. So we'll talk about that next week. I'll be seeing you guys on a weekly basis. I'm Russ Laggan, Regional Director, full throttle, running through market info you need to know. I'm going to send it back to you guys so you can take it to the next level. Catch you next time. Take it to you.
Fantastic, man. That guy, Russ, he's pretty smart.
He's done a few things. He has built a few companies.
That is so cool. Hey,
we got some special guests today. 2 of my favorite people.
Yes. All right. Who do we have coming up? We already heard from Russ. Now we've got Candace Decker and Rosie Rodriguez. If you do not know these two powerful women, you want to get to know them. They are top producing agents, top influencers in the marketplace, and they are incredible human beings. So we are so pumped that you guys are here, and because you guys are you have so much experience and you're so awesome. I think
it couldn't be further apart, Dave. I mean, Rosie is the queen of Downey, California with Powerhouse Real Estate Team, and Candace is the TL of the Decker Group in Cape Coral, Florida. I think it's like 5,000 miles apart.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, you guys are out there, you're killing it. And so we thought, who better to moderate a panel of other rock star agents as well, because you guys can talk the language. And so we are going to turn it over to you and invite the other guests in as well. And guys, take it away. And I am so excited to hear this conversation. This room is going to be on fire. So let's go.
Let's go. We got East Coast, West Coast. We're going to cover the entire nation. We're super, super excited because we've got some of the top producers in the entire country who are joining us today, who are going to give us all their secret sauce, the secret spices, everything that they do to run such highly, highly, highly productive and profitable teams. Candace?
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. And, as we were watching those numbers for August on the board, I'm recognizing some of those names as our speakers today. So I'm really excited. We're putting them in the hot seat today, and we're asking them the good questions to find out what are they doing in their business to just put those types of numbers on the board. So Rosie, should we get started?
I think we should bring them in. Like, let's not keep it a secret. Let's let all our top produced panelists in. We want to get to know you. We want to ask you the questions. So, drum roll. Da 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 da. Oh, whoa! Here we go. We got one. We got two. We got three. I think we have one more somewhere in here. This like magic hat. Where's our fourth one? Where'd he go?
We gotta keep the drum roll going. I think. I don't know. Well, I think we should waste no more time because it's limited. I want to get the goods from these guys. So, guys, what we want you to do, and Dylan, you can kick us off. We want to hear 30 seconds. Where are you from? What does your business look like?
I'm from the Big Island of Hawaii, in the Kona side, the west side, and I've been at EXP about 3.5 years, and came over with my brother and a couple of friends, and we now have a team of over 60 agents that is the #1 team in the whole state of Hawaii.
Very cool.
We're on track to do probably 500 transactions this year.
Very good. Austin.
Love it. Love it. Thank you guys for having me. I am from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I've been around real estate now for about 30 years of my life. So my father has been in real estate. We moved over to EXP about 2.5 years ago and just took the leap of faith. We burned the boats, went from having a team to a solo agent over at this company. And since then, we have about 20 producing agents, and we just crush it. I have some of the best people working with me, which is the coolest thing. So I hope they're all listening. Love you guys.
That's awesome. Paul, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I've been licensed in the state of Florida for 24 years. 100% listing agent. Personally close over 200 deals a year. We've built probably one of the largest self-organized teams at EXP, and I have to congratulate you guys for even coming up with that idea, because that was my vision, to turn the teams upside down and just give back value without taking part of their commission. So a pleasure to be here and honored to meet some of the other guys.
Awesome. And last but not least, my good friend, Kenny. And I know you talk really fast, so give us the scoop on your business in 30 seconds.
Sure. We're a team of like 325 now here in the Bay Area, with about 20 team members in Southern California. Last year, we did about 884 transactions at 674 million. This year, we've closed about 550 million. So we're really hoping to hit $1 billion this year.
Wow, that's incredible. Very cool. So we're going to ask you guys a couple of questions. We really want to dig in and learn more about how you guys are top producers and really bring in those numbers we saw on the board just a couple of minutes ago. So Austin, my first question for you is, you did 40 units just in the month of August. I'm curious, what are your biggest lead sources?
We did how many units in August?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That was called. Go ahead, Austin.
No, you're good. So we looks like we popped 80 some units. We have, like I said, we have about 20 producing agents on our team. I am not personally one of them. Our team model is completely different than I see anywhere across the country. We run our business 100% by referral. So my job is twofold. It's one, my main job is to ensure the lifestyle of our agents is in place. Being around for 30 plus years around real estate agents, what I've witnessed is we don't live very good lives. I'm just going to say that out loud, because we're always running and gunning. So I took a different approach, and I said, let's work on the lifestyle, and I think the business will come. And so we focus on the lifestyle, the habits, the financials, the mindset, the people you hang around with. And with that, transactions come. So this is actually the first month I've ever seen how much we've done. I don't know how much we do. I don't really care. I care about the agent's lifestyle, and we focus on, I teach them how to get their own business. So like I said, we run 100% by referral, our company. And every day we just go hunt together like a pack of wild African dogs. And it's been absolutely amazing.
That's awesome. And I want to make sure you get credit where credit is due. What was your total units for last month?
They say it's 80 something.
Okay.
Awesome. Now, one of the other questions that we have here is about lead generation systems. And so everybody wants to know, you know, how is it that you guys are able to close so many units in your respective markets? What are the lead generation systems that you're using? And another curious question would be like, how do you organize your day or your team? Is there some structure to that? So we'll just kind of go around the room and you know, Kenny, we can start with you.
Sure. Over 80% of our business is organic. So referrals, fair, and we're really big on social media content. It's kind of hard to get measure that directly, but we do a ton of coaching. Like we have coaching calls Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning with our team. Every Wednesday we bring in a guest speaker, and more recently, the last like 5 out of the last 6 speakers are like big like IG influencers that all have a big following and also in the real estate space. And then we do a ton of workshops at the office. Every Thursday we do role play script practice. And then like we just launched yesterday, or at least an intro call, we're doing a 4-week database boot camp. So we're really helping our agents dig into what they have and get in front of people. We have a studio here at the office, and we do like agent spotlight videos every month. And we have a one button push system where people come in and record content and they upload it through Instagram. And that's where we generate a lot of business. I would say most of it is probably through Instagram for the agents.
Awesome. Let's hear from Paul or Dylan or Austin.
I'll go. Thank you. Most of my personal business comes from direct mail, but we've also, since we implemented the self-directed team, we're actually doing a lot of, they're able to claim their own leads, some through Realtor.com, some through another company called Set Schedule that they can claim at their own pace. And, since I'm 100% listing agent, there are a lot of leads that come directly from the listings that we will give to the team who's ever kind of hanging around at the office to keep them motivated and get the ball rolling. And they are closing a lot of buyer deals that way.
Awesome. Over to you. Next gentleman.
And we do a lot of online lead generation, Google pay-per-click, Facebook, Instagram, Zillow. And in our market, people are normally moving here. They're coming here from somewhere else. You have a little bit of sphere business, but a lot of the business is coming from coming from the mainland or coming from a different market. And we got to be able to touch them. And we just do a lot of value added follow-up with them where we have long-term campaigns that will teach you about buying real estate in Hawaii. So we try and provide you with the maximum amount of value, establish ourselves as experts. So when the time comes, could be a year or two from now, but you've been getting weekly content from us that is valuable and unique to the Hawaii real estate market. And when it's time to buy, there's only one team that you're going to call when that time comes.
Awesome. So intentional nurturing, long-term nurturing, bringing value. Fantastic. And how about you, Mr. Indiana? Tell us about
we have a little system, and it's our run rest cycle. And while we're running, every morning our team gets on a Zoom call, and from 8 to 10 we work on our lead gen as a team. And the goal is between 8 and 8:30 we write 3 notes. Between 8:30 and 9 we make 3 follow-up calls, and 9 to 10 4 proactive calls to our database. And as simple as that is, that produces the numbers. And the best part about it is the overhead to do that is about 70 cents a note and having a cell phone. So we have very low overhead.
That's fantastic. Thank you guys for sharing. Candace, over to you.
Yeah, so it sounds like you are taking advantage of a physical office. Now, do you have a virtual aspect to your business? Austin, you can take that.
I'll start. So yeah, we do have a physical office. We run our team model probably 80% virtual, 20% out of an office. One of the reasons we have an office is I run about a half a dozen other companies out of here that I own and operate. So, but I like for our team model to be able to work virtually. That way, if anybody decides they need to go somewhere, they want to be on a beach, we're not stuck having to have one physical place to work out of. But yes, we do have it as another option.
And Dylan, are you virtual or do you have a physical office?
We're pretty much hybrid. You know, we have agents on 3 different islands, so it's not impossible for everybody to come into the same office. It's not physically possible, but we do have a physical office in our main market. I think it's important for people to come together and be able to interact. And then monthly and quarterly, we'll do physical gatherings where either at our board office or at a restaurant, or we'll rent space so we can come together and do a big workshop and a big training where people can get together and actually interact physically.
Cool. What about you, Paul?
So we actually have one licensed EXP office that we have all of our agents on the self-organized team have their license out of. And then we have another physical office, about 5 or 10 miles away that's really just used for agent workspace. And, I spend about 50% of my time working on my real estate business, about 50% of the time with the local agents here. So I do want to, meet them face to face, and everybody does have a home and they feel a part of the culture that we've grown here. So
very cool. And Kenny, I know you've expanded into quite a few different markets. So tell us about what that looks like for you and how are you utilizing your physical offices and the virtual aspect?
Yeah, 24 months ago, we just had 2 locations, all co-working space. Like one was through Spaces, which is like Regis' sister or sister company. But now we currently have 6 retail offices in the Bay Area, all half an hour apart, except one in Sacramento, an hour away, and 2 co-working spaces. And then in Southern California, we have 2 physical office spaces. I did an audit on my team when we had 90 agents, and then when we had 220 at January, 45% of our agents use the office at least twice a week. So 55% of our agents, I won't see them in the office, not even once a week. So I think they're pretty important because for culture building when you're running this size of a team. So on a good day here, we might have like 20, 30 people. In other locations we're filling up. And then one of the locations we have, one thing too, like we have a 12,000 square feet office in the city of Walnut Creek. there's 20 private suites there. I've rented a couple of rooms to my EXP partners down there. And then our offices are also open to my EXP organization to use too. So the idea was to get reach in my area.
I have a question following up. You guys are just all doing so incredible. And Paul, you mentioned something. How has the EXP model allowed you to expand into different markets, whether it's in the state that you're in or if you've gone nationwide? Because I know that what we do is very unique. So would one of you guys like to share on that? Paul, you mentioned that you were looking for something like this. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so since I've been here 4 years, everybody that I've introduced to EXP is in the local Palm Beach County market, and through those 400 agents that are in the organization, we've probably opened up 25 or 26 states. Maybe half of America here, but and they all have access. We have a bigger team group that we have Zoom calls every morning from 8:30 to 9:15, Monday through Friday. But yes, it's organically grown throughout the country like everybody else's organization here. But our core group is in South Florida.
But let's talk about how, like our model, right? If anybody wants to chime in on this, how does our model facilitate expansion as compared to, well, there's really nothing else out there like our model. Kenny, do you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, locally, we've been able to adopt a lot of solo independent agents into our team and help them grow. And then in Southern California, we actually partner up with existing team of 10 down there that's kind of now working with us to be powered by us. So I think agents at the EXP model already, it's easy to kind of work together since we're all under the same brokerage, and now we can share more resources. And then locally, it just allows us to expand a lot quicker in the area with not as much overhead, because then again, over 55% of agents are virtual, so we could pretty much go anywhere we want and support an agent under the same brokerage.
Awesome. So like Dylan, you're on 3 different islands, and I know like in California we have different MLSs. We have, in many models there's certain restrictions on territory and things like that, and you have to kind of affiliate with one broker here and one broker there, and it's kind of crazy. Here at EXP, we can we're one broker. We have one cap, so we can have a team in Hawaii, and we can have one in Southern California, and we can have one in Chicago. Like basically our teams are all under one brokerage. So it's like living in one little city. However, you don't have to go through all the, difficulty of, establishing licensing and whatnot in different states and paying different brokers in different states, right?
That's
So I
that's
think
what I'm
Okay.
doing right now. I'm in Vegas right now to meet with some agents to start looking at expanding into Vegas from Hawaii. So yeah, it's super easy. That's the thing that people don't understand is when I looked at before coming to EXP opening a brokerage, just the fixed cost of having to license software and get different accounts, and then it's insane that the amount of how anti-scalable the old real estate model is, and that's something that we have a great culture and all of us have great teams, and the way we run our stuff is amazing. But at the end of the day, if you're not in the right vehicle, I've heard a great analogy recently that you can be the best race car driver in the world, but if you're in a jalopy, you're never going to win the race, right? And we are in the Ferrari of real estate race cars right now. And so, yeah, there's no way you could do this anywhere else. And we've done, and all of us, I'm sure, have done more. I have peers in my market that have owned brokerages for 30 years, and we've outgrown them, 2 or 3 fold in less than 3, and because of the model we're in.
Yeah, amazing. So I want to switch gears with you guys a little bit because, I'm sure that there's a lot of agents that are watching this right now who maybe they don't have a big mega team and they're just starting out, or they're going from 0 deals to 5 deals this year, or 20 deals to 40 deals this year. So talk to them specifically, and what is the biggest advice you have for that newer agent that's looking to level up?
I'll start here. I was actually asked this question about 2 months ago at a poker table with a newer agent. He asked me, what is the best thing I can do to get to possibly where you were? And I said, don't take this the wrong way. And every time I say that, people say, don't say that. But I said, I think you should sign up for my training. We offer training, and that is the best thing. It was created about a half a dozen years ago, and it is focused on life and business. And once you get, I always found once you get the life's what pulls the business down. So if you're a new agent, your problems lie normally with your life, with your habits, with your finances, with your communication. So let's get those things right. So as you build a big business, it can maintain and grow, and you still have the life. So my answer was back then, sign up for my training. The guy signed up, and then 30 days later, he said, this is where I got to be, and he joined with us. But he saw that you focused on life first, and that's the key for agents. That's where I would start if I could go back.
So mindset is crucial.
Bingo.
Perfect. Dylan, what about you? What advice do you have for a newer agent?
Yeah, I totally agree on the mindset piece. If I got to give you one actionable piece of advice, is write everything down. So in the very beginning, just even when I started as a solo agent, I wrote every process and procedure and checklist. I mean, checklists for everything that I did, and that becomes a scalable system. So you don't have to think, real deeply about systems. Can be intimidating, but if you have the way you do a listing presentation from the initial contact all the way through getting the listing on the market, then what do you do afterwards, written down in a procedure, that's something that you can scale and give to other agents, and they can replicate that on a larger scale. And so that's a big thing, I think, in the beginning is spending the time to build your own personal systems out, because once those are built out, you can easily apply that to a team and then have 10, 20, 50, 100 agents implement them.
That's great advice. And Paul, what about you?
So no matter what market you're in or what brokerage you're at, I would definitely find who's one of the top agents in the area and do a lot of shadowing. A lot of people talk about what they're going to do, but just, follow somebody that's actually doing it. They don't teach you how to make money in real estate school. You've got to find one of the top producers, team leaders, anybody that's willing to lend you an ear and just hang on to their leg until you pick up some of the same habits. And success breeds success. So you guys can do it. Just push through it. There's a lot of opportunity out there.
I love it. Mentorship. So raise a quick hands. How many of you guys had a mentor that was doing what you wanted to do? Yes, exactly. And that's why everyone should be following you guys and your stories online, to watch the journey. And very good. Kenny, what about you?
Kind of along the same lines, but maybe start partnering up on deals. Because you're partnering on a deal, you have a built-in mentor trainer that's hands-on on your deal. And also for at least for social media, now you can do double the just listed posts, double the prep posts. If people think you're doing double the business than you are, but you're getting half the paycheck. But now that's gonna accelerate your business much further. We've had many agents on our team do 20 20 plus deals the first year, but they didn't do 20 solo deals, but then you just hear 20 deals, and then now they have that track record and the reviews and the clients and all that to really, really get their business going.
That's awesome.
What I picked up here is that Kenny and Paul, find a mentor, partner up, right, who has the right mindset, and then document and duplicate, right? So this is a business. This is not a hobby. This is a business that you're running. You align with the right partners. You follow their lifestyle, their habits. You document so you can duplicate, and you can then, be successful in your career and also then duplicate it later on. You guys are incredible. You guys are awesome. I know Candace and I were just honored to be in this room with you guys. We've had so many people comment, incredible value. Thank you so much. Candace, any final words of anything that you want to say, any takeaways?
Well, I've been taking notes this entire time, so I have a ton of takeaways. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I know all of us have learned a ton, so we appreciate you giving back.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. I think we're going over now to our next segment. Let's see here. Who is here? We go, Dave.
Where is he? All right. Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. I hope people took a lot of great notes. Sean, I was scribbling stuff down and just soaking it all in. Really, really amazing to hear from those folks. And
I wish I would have known that coming in. I mean, crazy.
I know, right?
I mean, I actually study Austin and Kenny now. I mean, they're actually case studies for me in that they don't spend a ton of money to create that massive business.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's great. And there's a lot of good stuff in there. That's just, I mean, the note cards and a phone call, right? I mean, not a high spend, but a really great high touch and high outcome activity that any agent can do to keep their business cranking. So love it, guys. If you, love this as much as we did, check out this survey. You want to go to the survey, you can use the QR code and complete the survey. We love to hear your feedback. We love to hear, what was helpful to you and ideas that you have and that sort of thing. So we encourage everyone to please go in, complete the survey. We'd love to hear from everyone who checked this out today. Keep these meetings great. Keep them an awesome and amazing use of your time every week as we come together every week and share best practices and stay connected.
Well, Dave, it was fantastic doing this with you. We will be doing our agent appreciation about once a month, not on the first day of the month, but give it a week for the transaction.
We appreciate our agents every day of the month, every month. But the official recognition every month, excited about that. And I think coming up, speaking of hearing from top agents, this is Fire Friday, right? So we had Kirtus in and he was bringing all kinds of great content for you guys. Had this here in the meeting. And then following up, we have our icons. Icons are our top producing agents in the company. This is the rarefied air of the people who have unlocked the formula to build successful businesses. But what I love about the culture in our company is that our top agents don't stand up there at the top and pat themselves on the back. They immediately turn around and reach out to help others and lift them up. And that's a really amazing thing about the culture at EXP. So we've got Edric Williams, Chris Steves, Eric Patoto, Christine Andresen, and Denise May, all coming on to share their best practices. Part of our iConversations coming up. So you guys are going to want to stick around.
Let's throw this over to Alyssa. Alyssa, you ready to take this over?
Hey guys, I have got it from here. Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you, Dave. And I'm taking it from here. I've got fire to give. So what we're doing right now, if you are looking for iConversations, that is going on right now in the main auditorium, but I actually really want you to stick around right now for the agent stand-up. So my name is Alyssa Specht. I'm going to give you a little bit of orientation, let you know what we're doing here right now. So this is the agent stand-up. This is your 3 times a week dose of accountability. This is your chance to leverage the community that is around you, whether you're with EXP or not. And if you are watching this right now, we're here to elevate the industry. So if you've been here before, welcome back. I hope that we are giving you the accountability that you need. And, congratulations to you for making yourself a priority. And I hope that we're giving you everything that you need and that you're getting that community. But if you're new here or maybe joining us in World or on YouTube for the very first time, I want to welcome you and start with a little bit of orientation. So this is the agent stand-up. And whether you are a brand new agent or you're an experienced agent, this is the place for you to come and get your mindset right and kick off your day with momentum. This is the place for you to come and make a promise to yourself for your business. And it's a place for you to come and speak your commitment out loud. So in our stand-up, we always start off by giving you 5 minutes of orientation. I love to give you a little message of my own, some resources. We always check in with you. And then in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to ask of you to make that commitment for your business. And then in the last 5 minutes, we are going to give you 5 minutes of fire, straight fire. So we bring in an amazing icon agent and an influencer, someone who's going to help you jumpstart your day, jumpstart your whole weekend. So to kick us off today, I want to talk a little bit about skills, because in a changing market, there are some skills that are going to be more important than ever. And the biggest skill that I can think of right now, the skill that you need to grow and build that muscle on, is communication. And I want to look at it today through two lenses. One being your one-to-one communication with your clients. And the second lens is the communication with the agent on the other side of the transaction. So let's get into it. So your one-to-one communication with your clients. So you know how, you've been scrolling through your phone, you turn on TV and you hear that talk of doom and gloom. You hear these unsettling messages about recessions and interest rates, and maybe a little part of your mind might find yourself in a little bit of fear, right? So can you imagine that your clients are probably hearing the same message? So my question for you is, in your one-on-one communication with your clients, what are you doing to ease those fears, to assure them that they're making a good financial decision? And I want you to remember, I want you to remember this is not just a transaction. This is an experience. This is an experience for them. You might think of it as just that transaction. This is real life, a big experience in their life. So what messaging, what communication could you improve to make this a positive experience? And I want you to keep in mind that communication that you're going to be using depends, it's different depending on your client. You want to optimize your communication depending on their behaviors. And what I mean here is I want you could use something like a DISC. It's DISC to learn what communication is going to be most effective for your client. And the very basic, I'm giving you a very basic principle of DISC is that there are people who demonstrate strongly one of these 4 sets of characteristics, and it's dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. And we're not going to break down each one of them right now, but I'm going to pick one just to give you an example. So let's say that you are working with a C, so that's conscientiousness. So someone who is a C, C's are analytical, they are reserved, precise, private, systematic. So when I think of C's, I think people who value accuracy. They value standards, and they tend to be moderately paced and task focused. So these are our data folks. They're engineers, they're accountants. So if you are dealing with the C who has some kind of objection, some kind of hesitation, what could you do to help them overcome that? What could you do? What kind of communication could you use to help them optimize their experience? Now, when I'm dealing with the C, consider where their mind lives in that data. So you could help optimize their experience by using data, maybe using market statistics. Give them that data that's going to help them reconcile whatever fear that they might have and reconcile their own objections. So your approach is going to be different whether you're, when you're dealing with all sorts of personalities. Now, if you guys are interested in diving a little bit deeper into this, I want you to jump into EXP World on Thursday. I believe it is Thursday, for an icon series class called Winning by Recognizing and Adapting to Client Behaviors. It's good. It's really good. And you're going to have one of our amazing icon agents walking you through these principles more in depth. So now I said there was two lenses. So the next lens I want to look through as far as communication is your communication with the agent on the other end of the the transaction. So you've got an accepted offer. Congratulations. Now what? So honestly, guys, this applies no matter what market we're in, but the communication with the agent on the end of the transaction is vital in a shifting market. I want you to be an over communicator from the beginning. So before you even write an offer, you should be in communication with that listing agent, letting them know that, hey, I'm going to show this house. And when you go to write that offer, now you've got that open line of communication. It's already there. And all along the way, you're finding out from them, how can I write a better offer? You know, a few months ago, I wrote an offer and I knew that we were going to be competing with a lot of other offers, just like, everybody else has. And I asked the listing agent before I wrote the offer, I said, hey, what would be most helpful to your sellers right now? And the listing agent let me know that the sellers were, waiting to, or they're wanting to move out of state and they need some time. They need time to close. So we wrote time into our offer. They accepted. We did a occupancy post close, and it was a perfect fit for both the buyers and the sellers. And they accepted our offer, even though other offers came in at a higher price, because no one else asked. They didn't ask the question. So start that communication way at the beginning of the process, but it doesn't end there. Because with the shifting market, we're going to see more contingencies, right? We're going to see a lot of things that could come up that could get in the way of this transaction. So what could you do? What if you got on the phone with that agent, with that listing agent, and say, hey, do you have a minute to talk? So here are the things that I'm feeling a little bit worried about, some possible pitfalls. Do you have a moment to just talk through how we could get through that together if those things do comes up? If X happens, what could we do? And of course, you're always representing your client and they're representing theirs, but you two can work together to make this a positive experience for everybody. All right. So I want you to kind of take a moment, internalize, and think about how you could increase your communication right now. But right now it is time, before we share our commitments to our business, I want to hold this space to check in with last week's commitments, or even Mondays. If you were here Monday and Wednesday, I want to just hold this space. If you made a commitment to yourself, to your business, let us know. Let us know in the chat. Did you fulfill it? Let us congratulate you, or let us help you. If you made a commitment in the chat previously and you're struggling with it, let us know. There's a bunch of people watching right now in the EXP metaverse on YouTube. And I guarantee you that if you are struggling, that someone out there has a resource, a tactic, a fresh perspective. So let us know in the chat and I'll come back, try to give you any resources that I can after this. Now, once you've done that, I'm going to invite you right now to put your new commitments in the chat, your new promises to yourself for your business. I'm going to invite you right now to speak your commitment out loud. What are you going to do today or this weekend? What are you going to do to push your business forward? Let us know in the chat. Write that in the chat. What are you going to do? And by when? By when? And I always like to give you some prompts. If just in case you're not sure what you could say, what could you do today to level up your communication with your leads, with your clients, with the agent on the other end of the transaction? What are you going to do today to tighten up your communication with your giant audience, your one-to-many audience? Make a clear message with your social media. How many calls are you going to make today? What are you going to do today to push your business forward? So guys, I want you to keep those coming in the chat. Let us know what you are doing. But right now, after you have made that promise to yourself, we like to send you away with a little bit of fire, a little bit of motivation. So you've got the fire in your belly to go and take on those commitments that you just made for yourself. So it is truly my honor to bring on our next guest to give you that fire. Friends, please welcome Chastin Miles.
Thank you. Good morning. Good day, everybody. And I love the talk about commitment. And before I share with you some of my commitments, I want to take you back a little bit in my career. I got licensed as a real estate agent back in 2013, right after I just moved from across the country. I moved from Georgia to Texas on this journey to become a top real estate agent, and got my license and hopped right in. I was ready to hit the ground running, just like a lot of new agents. And I was doing anything and everything that I could do, that I knew how to do, in order to generate business. And every day I was going into the office, I was learning scripts, I was cold calling, and finally I felt like it was paying off. I got my first listing. Now, it wasn't easy, but I got it and I was excited about it. Now, here's the thing about this listing. I had it and I had it and I had it, and it was not selling. It was not selling no matter what I did. It got to the point where I was holding an open house on this listing every single weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, just in an effort to get it sold. I was a new agent. I had a lot of time on my hands, and I did this for about 3 months. And on that third month, I remember one morning I was waking up and getting myself ready to go host another open house at this same listing. Had my suit on, felt good about the day, even though it was my routine for the last 3 months. I felt really good. And I grabbed my keys and my wallet, and as I'm walking out the door, my electricity turned off. And it turned off because I didn't pay my electricity bill. And as a matter of fact, I didn't pay a lot of bills because I was out of money. I spent all my money trying to make this career work. Nonetheless, I hopped in my car on my quarter tank of gas and drove across town to go host this listing open. I just knew that this was going to be the day that I sell it. So I got to this listing, did my normal setup. And if I can just paint the picture of this home, it was an older home from around the 50s, but a larger older home that an investor had, but didn't really do anything to it. So you had the original wood floors, just everything was original. And it was kind of creepy. It was vacant. No one was living in it. So you heard every single noise, every echo, everything. And this was the winter time. So the first hour of my open house went by, nobody came in. The second hour of my open house went by, nobody came in. And I figured anyone who wanted to see this home had already seen it. And by that third hour, I knew nobody was coming in. I remember walking to the front door, and I locked the front door. It wasn't time for me to end my open house, but I knew no one was coming in. I locked the front door and I stood there, and then I remember falling to my knees, and I was bawling my eyes out, crying, because I was at a point now where it all hit me. My electricity was turned off at home. I barely had any gas. I had used all of my money trying to do the right thing, trying to make it in this business. And here I was, day in and day out, working, but not getting any results. You know, I told all these people that I was going to be this successful real estate agent. I was putting on social media all these homes, doing everything, working hard, and here I was on my last. That was the lowest moment of my career. At that moment, I felt like I had failed, and I had a choice to make. I said to myself, I could go get a job, have some money, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe tops. I can borrow some money along the way just to hold me over, or I can continue to try to make this work. And obviously, I'm here talking to you today because I chose to make it work. And during my career, not only have I sold millions and millions and millions of dollars of real estate and been featured in magazines and on TV and released a book and did all these great things in my real estate business, I realized all of that wouldn't have happened if I made that other choice. You see, everything in life comes down to a choice. Everything in your business comes down to a choice. And there are points in your business where you are going to be tested. Some of you may be tested right now. You're going to be put through tests to see if you are mentally strong enough to move to the next level, to see if you really want this bad, to see if you really want to be that success that you set out to be, because the journey is not easy, but it all comes down to a choice. You see, these choices, they're going to create opportunities for you, but these choices, they're also going to put decisions in front of you. They're going to create hard decisions that you're going to have to make. The choices you decide to make are going to lead you down a specific path that you're going to reach a specific destination based on that choice. But see, you have that choice. You have that choice to be greater. You have that choice to be stronger. You have that choice to be faster. You have that choice to be richer, more successful. You have that choice to be happier. You have that choice to be loving, to be helpful, to be great in everyone's eyes, including yourself. But you also have that obligation to make a choice. And today, I want you to choose. I want you to choose to be the best that you can be. I want you to choose to not let this business get you down. I want you to choose to make the right decisions. And I, on my end, I'm choosing for you to be great. So get out there and be great and make it happen.
Woo! That was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm fired up. You've got people fired up in world and on YouTube. That was, thank you so much. That was the message I think that a lot of people needed to hear today. So I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Whew. All right, guys. What choice are you making today? What choice? Go and make it. So as we wrap up today, we're wrapping up with today's Agent Stand Up. I do have some calls to action for you. If you are watching in the metaverse, we're going to throw a survey in the chat for you. I want you to go ahead and fill that out. We want to make sure that we are giving you value, giving you that fire. So, and also if you are watching on YouTube, I want you to smash that like button and make sure that you are subscribed to eXp Realty's channel, because we're going to come back to you live on Wednesday with Level Up's Wealth Wednesday, and you do not want to miss it. So, all right, guys, go take action, and we'll see you Wednesday.